Should you play easy pieces or hard pieces when you're starting out? Is it better to have a smaller repertoire of hard pieces or a larger repertoire of easy pieces? And to that, I would say easy pieces. A smaller repertoire of harder pieces just prolongs the period of growth. It takes longer to learn a harder piece. That's just natural. That's the truth. It takes longer to learn it, and therefore you're going to have a smaller repertoire of harder pieces, especially when you're starting out playing piano and you just want to play some popular piece, like you want to play, like you heard a very popular piano piece. It's really pretty, and you want to play it for your family, maybe your mother, your sister, whoever, your girlfriend, and it takes you a long time. You only learn like one page of it. You want to play like Nocturne or something. Yeah. So, and that's a pretty piece, and you will work your way up to that. But just know it's better to have those small pieces in your repertoire starting out. You don't want to start out at 60 miles an hour when you hop on the motorcycle. If you're just a new guy to bikes and everything, you're not gonna hop on a Ninja and go 600 miles an hour. You can't go 600 miles an hour, but it's, it's just you're not going to do that. It's going to put you in more danger. It's going to do more damage to you than it's going to do good for you. And that's exactly what a hard piece will do. If you start out just trying to learn, Nocturne or whatever, so the first note is B, and then G will B flat, G, and then. But the left hand is a lot more difficult. And yeah, this is like kind of complex, but it doesn't expose you to as much as you'd think. Like, it's difficult and it doesn't do you much good if you're not that level. It's only going to do you good if you're that level. If you want to waste months or a month to learning this one piece as a beginner, then go ahead. But if you really want to get good at the piano, actually understand the piano, um, and actually um, create some good habits and progress faster than everyone else, then you want to start out learning easy pieces, multitudes of easy pieces. Don't want to just look at some popular piece and start playing it. And most of all, you want to expose yourself to a little bit of music theory. Not too much, because again, if you reach a certain point in music theory where it's um, too difficult for you to understand, then it's too difficult for you to understand. And you're probably not even going to use it while you're playing the piano anyway. Like, I don't even know what example to bring up, but most likely you're only going to need to know certain scales, certain chord patterns, and their relations to each other. Um, so, what songs would you play if you were just starting out? I'd say you want to play some very, very easy songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Um, like just some, if you go to a music school, they'll give you a book. It'll be a very just easy book, and it'll show you very simple patterns to follow. One second. And maybe something like this, like a first book of Beethoven. You can go through these and look at that. It's fairly simple. There's 3 notes in one bar. It's it's not that much. So you want to just play these very simple pieces starting out. And for you, for just starting out, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge because you haven't even sight read anything, you've never seen anything before, ever. So it's still going to be a little bit of a challenge, but it's going to be just enough to where um, it's going to be easy enough for you to actually play and progress. And then I'd say get yourself familiar with reading without looking here. And you don't want to use, after a while, after I'd say about like a month of using every good boy drives Ferrari or whatever, or like just using those phrases like G B D F A, and those are the lines, and these are the spaces, or whatever. Don't do that after enough time. Try not to use that and try to just recognize two or three notes on a on ledger lines, right? So, and on different clefs. So like for treble clef, recognize G and A, or G, B, and D only. Just get yourself familiar with that. And from G, B, and D, you can recognize where E is, where C is, where F is, D, pretty much everything in treble clef. And then for bass clef, like recognize most notably F, D, and B, right? From there, you can know where A is because it's just a third away. You'll realize that all these ledger lines are a third away, a third away. Same with the spaces. All the spaces are a third away. So get yourself familiar with some music theory like thirds, fifths, sixths, seconds, all that sort of those spacings and everything, and then you could learn sight reading a lot quicker. And then after that, after you've played, a few easy songs on some very simple book, you can upgrade to maybe something a little bit more exciting, maybe something a little bit more difficult and a whole new genre. You can play a waltz now, maybe. Waltzes are pretty simple too. It's a heartbeat kind of. You want to. Right. So it's just three, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and an easy song for you to build up to as a beginner. I would suggest you play Waltz in A minor by Chopin. Right? So it's easy enough at a like intermediate level. So after you've played a bunch of these, right? So play easy songs first, get a lot in your repertoire, get familiar with all the notes and everything. Make sure you don't try and play some difficult song that you see on the internet or whatever. You'll get there, I promise. You'll get there very quickly if you play a bunch of easy songs and you work yourself up to something slightly difficult and slightly more difficult, and then more and more. And then you get yourself more familiar with different styles, and then you can just progressively add more difficult stuff, more different styles, different keys, and it's like you're just going to the gym. You just add more weight, add more weight, add more weight. You don't want to start off with 60 pounds though. You won't be able to do that, and it's not going to do you any good. Start off doing lots of reps of very simple things, small weights, high reps, small weights. Of course, just keep that up and try to learn, metaphorically, how to hold the weight, how to do it properly, how to, lift properly. And what I mean by that is just what goes into the piece, how is it structured, and later down the line, that's going to be more prevalent, you know, when you're a more advanced player. But for now, you want to keep it simple. Just play every day and make it simple. 10 minutes a day, you sit down, make sure it's fun enough for you to be able to sit down and play for 10 minutes, but also just a challenge enough for you to actually want to stay and keep playing. Because you don't want to sit down at the piano and not want to do it. This should be all good, relaxing. This should be therapeutic to you. This should be fun for you. You don't want to ever make it a chore to play piano. And yeah, go ahead and play some easy pieces. Bye.